Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've been sent another drone from RUKO. This one's called the Veeniix V11. I've been using a Hover Air X1 for quite a long time now. You've probably seen it in a lot of my videos. It's really convenient because it's small. You pop it in your pocket and you can take it with you wherever you go, and especially when I'm backpacking or I'm bike packing, there's no weight, there's no bulk, and there's no fuss. But I really do miss the long shots and the big panoramic shots, and for big landscapes you just can't do it with a Hover Air X1 because it's too limited in its range. So RUKO sent me the Veeniix V11, which I really fancied actually because it films in 4K at 30 frames per second. That's a step up from the RUKO F11 Gim 2 that I had before. So in theory, better quality. Of course it will be over the 250 grams, so you'll have to register it. That also is something to consider when I'm backpacking. I won't always take this, to be quite honest with you, because of the extra weight and bulks. Quite robust hard case, good for just transporting about. Well, I've already used this, just tried it very briefly. So there's a few things in here that will be slightly bruised and battered by now, but you get a user manual, flight guide, safety disclaimer. I'll have to register it, which I haven't done yet. You've got a variety of cable connectors. Actually, I don't really need these because this new controller, props are actually quite a big diameter. And the thing about the Veeniix also is it seems to have a longer flying time. The controller itself has, you can store the little joysticks inside here so they don't get broken in transit. Itself is nice actually, it's more compact than the old one. What I do like is that you don't have separate antenna you've got to pop up. The antenna is built in to this slider for your mobile phone, and then it has rubber grips on the bottom, so it's much more secure. You've got built-in cables to attach your phone. So the actual drone has a prop guard just to hold these in place, I think when it's in transit again. And yeah, you can see it's a fairly chunky, but apparently it's got built-in, I think it's landing lights on here. So you can fly at night and land it safely in the dark. And you've got a Fuji HD Wi-Fi cam, f2.15. It's a 2-axis gimbal with EIS stability. These legs fold out. The good thing I would say about these really solid drones is, these more heavy ones, is they fly really nicely. And as a result, you get really nice cinematic style footage. So apparently it uses digital transmission rather than Wi-Fi, and that will give you a signal apparently clear up to 9,800 feet away. These I think are the antennas, so these must be folded down, not purely just to sit the drone, but also they're the reception antennas as well. And you can see in here the SIM card slot in here. I don't know if you need the SIM card or not, it's possible it will transmit to your phone anyway. Optical flow sensors, so you can fly it indoors, and it will also light up the surface as well to help it fly. The batteries are a fairly chunky 3,500 milliamp hours, which equates apparently to 35 minutes flight. I should also mention, I think that this one doesn't have collision avoidance detection. Yeah, so it's a step up for me from the RUKO F11 Gim 2, which I liked and used a lot in my videos. This one I think will be really nice with its 4K 30 frames a second. And yeah, the only way to find out is let's get outside and let's try. Flight, I flew over the golf course away over here, and I'll show you the footage just as a kind of sample to start with before we start getting into the more advanced features. So that was an interesting wee experiment. The GPS follow seemed to work very well, so it just tracks your phone, and I guess I could probably use that in a vehicle as well as personally. The point of interest worked okay as well. You can control it with the joystick, move it out, and it will just circle around your point of interest. I also tried image follow, I think it's called, where it just tracks an image which you just draw around yourself. Now that's actually not in the book, but weirdly enough I saw it on the app, so I thought I'd try it, but it didn't seem to work. It seemed to lose the signal. It started to work and then just lost the image and didn't track me. Whoa. Right, okay, I put in 3 points of waypoints on the map and we'll see if that works. So there you go, that's my first impressions of the Veeniix V11 drone. Hopefully it's been useful to you. My initial impressions are it's a heavy beast, so you've got to allow for that if you're a backpacker like me. But the upside of that is you get really good footage, I think, very rock steady. I intentionally brought it down here in some fairly heavy winds. Good strong breezes off the sea. And I think the footage shows that it does it really well actually, and filmed and photographed really nicely. I've used the GPS tracking, which works well. The point of interest seems to work well. The extra flying time has been really useful with the big batteries. So yeah, I'll continue to use it. I'll be interested to get your comments on what you thought of it and whether you think it's comparable. I'll put the price on screen. Maybe it's a bit expensive, I'm not sure how it compares with the DJI type and some of the bigger brands. But yeah, I'm well impressed with the performance on it. It's a solid performer. It's a chunky machine that flies really well. It doesn't have obviously collision avoidance, which is one thing you have to watch out for, but I've had no issues with it at all. It has never lost transmission. It's been very reliable in terms of startup, finding signal, etc. So all in all, yeah, the Veeniix V11, thank you to RUKO for sending it to me. I'll continue to use it in future videos and some aerial shots, and we'll see how it works out long term. If you've got any questions, drop them below, and thanks again for watching. Cheers just now.